Hi, my name is Judy Watson, and I am a business management student at Southern Regional Technical College in Thomasville, Georgia. My presentation today is on operations management. My goal with this presentation is to define operations management and explain why operations management is so important in any type of business. Whether your business provides goods or services to your clients, you must have processes in place to increase efficiency and make better use of your resources to increase the probability of making a profit for your business. According to our textbook, operations management is defined as managing systems and processes that create goods and/or provide services. In addition to productivity, inventory management, and quality of goods and services, e-business and online marketing, staying on top of the competition, and ensuring that your customers are satisfied, operations management is essential to managing the goods created and services provided. Goods include physical items from raw materials, parts, and sub-assemblies that are used to make other physical items, and final products that are ready to sell to the customer. Services include such aspects as time, location, form, or psychological value. Every business provides goods, services, or a combination of both. For example, a photography business would provide a service to their customers by taking time to shoot photos for their customers and would provide edited and finished professional portraits as a finished product for sale to the customer. Must try to balance their supply of products and or services with the demand for that product or service. In other words, you do not want to have more product on hand than you will be able to sell for profit, nor do you want dissatisfied customers who are demanding a product you cannot produce. On the supply side of the business, an operations manager must manage their own operations and deal with supply chains. On the demand side of the business owner must try to create demand for the products or services through sales or marketing. Three functions of every business include finance, operations, and marketing. The finance department deals with finding funds to operate the business, as well as budgeting and allocating those funds to the most appropriate areas of business. Operations is responsible for using these resources as efficiently as possible to create the product or service being offered. The marketing department's responsibility includes finding out what the customer wants and advertising to create a desire for that product or service. Briefly, supply chains are simply businesses or resources that provide other businesses with physical items or resources needed to produce or provide its own products or services. The operations of a business is responsible for taking inputs received from supply chains and transforming it through their processes into an output, or in other words, a sellable product or service. There are many things involved in operations management. Forecasting is when a company looks at outside forces such as weather, seasons, and demographics to help determine peaks in demand so that it can adjust output accordingly to meet customer demand. Capacity planning helps to determine how much current processes and equipment can handle to produce the needed output. Location of facilities is important to reduce waste of resources by locating the business near shipping vendors and other resources to reduce transportation cost. Facilities and layout are important to reduce wasted time caused by employees having to search for what they need to perform their jobs. Scheduling staff during peak demand times is also important. Inventories must be managed to avoid having too much of one product and not enough of another to satisfy demand. Quality assurance is important because if the customer is not happy with their product or service, they will stop coming to you for their needs. Employees must be motivated and trained to do the work necessary with as little lost time and wasted resources as possible. And finally, system design is imperative to increasing productivity and output as well as reducing resource waste and lost work time. The major role of an operations manager is to help make decisions in a way that reduces cost to the organization and ends up with quality product to satisfy the customer. Operations managers make decisions about what to order and when to deliver resources, when to schedule staff for peak productivity. They must also decide the location for where the work will be done most efficiently. They work on product design and processes for how the output will be produced, as well as what equipment and resources will be used in production. And finally, operations managers make the decision about who will actually do the work. One is models. Physical, schematic, and mathematical are three types of models that can be used in operations management. Physical models are scaled down models of an actual product. Schematic models include graphics and drawings resembling the actual product, and mathematical models use formulas, symbols, and numbers and have no resemblance to the actual product. Operations managers use quantitative approaches to help them make decisions using mathematical formulas as well. Due to a lack of time, I won't go into detail with these, but some of these approaches include linear programming, queuing techniques, forecasting, inventory, project, and statistical models. Tools used by operations managers includes performance metrics, analysis trade-offs, degrees of customizations, and lastly, some operations managers may use a systems approach to look at the big picture to make decisions that will affect the entire company. Today, companies have access to better technology that makes these decisions easier for managers to make. Also, a new approach that is becoming more popular in today's operations management is the lean approach, which flattens the organizational structure and gives workers more responsibility for decision making and can help managers do their jobs even better. This approach encourages cross-training workers to help fill in gaps when one worker is absent or when demand is high. There are many more benefits to this approach that I don't have time to go into right now. In conclusion, it is clear to see that operations managers have a big job with many responsibilities, and many of the decisions they are required to make results in profits or losses for the organization as a whole. And this is the reason operations management is such an important part of running a business. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation.